Hello folks, hope you're all doing well. It is a Sunday morning. It's okay up here. It's a bit dull, but it's warm. It's strangely warm actually, because it's, you know, we're near enough at the end of October, going into November, and it's warm. It really is. We must be in double figures here, and it's about, I don't know, I mean the clocks have gone back, but even still it's probably about 9:30 here in the morning. We're here to do a job today. We've got a job on. And in this bed over here, if you can see it, let me lean back. Oh, there we go. This bed here is the main crop potato bed. So traditionally, these two beds here, side by side, have all been main crops. I cut down the potatoes a little bit because I always do too many. And I just did pink fir apples in the one over there that's been covered over. They've been dug up, taken away. They were good. There was loads of them. Didn't film it. It was just one of those jobs that I came up and sort of cracked on with and got done. However, this bed here, the more sort of main bed, if that makes sense, it's got 3 different varieties in it. There's Rooster, there's Sarpo Mira, and there's Piper. Piper being the king of the potatoes, and for roast potatoes it's absolutely the best. And for those of you who saw me put the seed potatoes in when I planted them out, you may remember there was a little bit of a mishap with all the seed potatoes in the wheelbarrow that caused me to go and buy a new wheelbarrow that's back there, that when I dig them up the potatoes are going to go in. Some of them might have got muddled up. I tried to put them in nice, neat rows so I knew where they all were. There's little labels, there's all that sort of stuff. But we'll see. But it looks like a little bit of a mess at the moment. And to be honest, it is. The weeds grew up during the season while the potatoes were there. And when the shores have died back, the weeds have sort of flourished a little bit. But when I'm digging it over there, the weeds will get taken out and taken away. And normally, I probably would have had the main crop potatoes dug up by now, at least a month ago, I would say. But I reckon because I did more in the buckets this year, they've lasted longer till I've had to come and dig the main crops up. But now it's time to get them dug up. So without further ado, I will get you propped up on some sort of device and I'll get cracking and we'll dig them up and we'll see what they look like. Back with you in just a jiffy. So what I thought I'd do is just dig up this very first little bit here on camera for you, and I'll not bore you with an hour of me trying to dig all the potatoes up. Nobody wants to see that. So I'll dig the first bit up and we'll have a look. And one of the benefits, so this is kind of a traditional way of doing them, not in the buckets, they're in the ground. So I dug a trench, probably a good sort of 12 inches deep, put the seed potatoes in. Again, they're probably about 12 inches apart. And in theory, where these little labels are that I've got here, the potatoes should all be in a row going up and down from where the label is. So even though the majority of the shores have all died back and it's difficult to sort of tell where they are, they should be in line with the label. And that's one of the benefits of using that sort of big long straight trough all the way along there, is when it comes to this time of year for digging them up, hopefully they should all be in the same place that I left them. So what we'll do, let's just move some of this stuff out of the way. So this has got the label on Rooster, and I've put the date on there, so that's the 17th of April that they went in. So they've been in quite a long time there. So we'll just slowly dig them up and have a look. And there's the first main crop potato of the year. And again, I'll just pretty much get into this first sort of bit here, where the first seed potato was planted, and there's lots of roots and things, but I'm only seeing one potato so far, so perhaps it's not a good start to the potato season. But we'll see. We'll come left a bit and oh, there we go, that's some starting to come up there. So they're okay. They're looking a little bit small, these ones, but I've never done a Rooster before, so I honestly couldn't tell you how big a Rooster potato is. So even though I had my label in there and I was singing the virtues of the labels, I appear to have gone slightly off kilter to the left hand side, which is okay as long as we still all get the potatoes out. And this is one of the downsides of potatoes in the ground. I've gone straight through that one with a fork, but these things happen. So let me just get down in here in and about these, and there's, say, quite unexpected that there's loads and loads and loads of smaller potatoes, and generally they're grown under the path. So it's taken me a little bit of effort to sort of get them sorted out there. And there's loads of little ones, and you've got to get these. It's important to get these ones as well. So these tiny little tiddler ones here, it's important to get them out, or I'll just get potatoes grown where I don't want them to grow next year, and they will 100% come back. So here we'll go with some bigger ones. We'll get them out. Right, I think that is, apart from that one, about it. Let me come and grab you and we'll have a look. So this that we're going to see here is, I reckon, just off the first seed potato that I put in. So I think when I said they got muddled up, knackered by the end of it. So this year, if I can find it, we're going to use the shovel, right? There's definitely 2 different varieties here. We've got the one with the red skin, which I think is the Rooster, and the one with the white skin, which will be the Maris Pipers. So they're a little bit muddled up, but let's have a look in here. It's okay that they're a lot smaller. I mean, that one's okay. They're a lot smaller than I thought they would be. However, I've got a whole bed to dig up. So let me crack on with that, and I'll come back to you at the end there once we've got them dug up, and I'll try and sort them out into the different varieties, and we'll see how they're looking. Back with you in just a jiffy. So, how did we do? Well, decidedly average this year. It's a bit disappointing that last year the potatoes that came out of the ground were absolutely smashing. This year, average. Lucky, the buckets that we've done, the stuff that came out of the buckets, absolutely brilliant this year. They've been fab. But some of the stuff out of the ground this year, it's a little bit disappointing. Let me tip this up. These are probably the best. These ones here are Bartle Apache, not Rooster, like I said earlier on, because I wrote the wrong name on the label, and when I pulled them up, I was a little bit confused between the Sarpos and the pink skins and these ones, which have got the sort of white blobs on them. Why they look like that, it got muddled up. Anyway, wrong label. Bartle Apache. Let me take that again. You can see them. They look all right. They're okay. You know, it's not bad. It's average. It's not brilliant. I'm not sure why we don't have as many this year. I'll mention that at the end. We'll have a little chat about that. These ones here, probably these are the Maris Pipers. Okay, size-wise. You know, some of them are little tiddlers, some of them are okay. Again, a little bit disappointing, not quite sure why they've grown so small. A lot of these ones as well, when I was pulling them out of the ground here, you can see they've got some damage in them there, little holes and things on them, bits there. A lot of people think that's slugs, and it kind of is. Usually what it is, first of all, is wireworm that gets in and breaks the skin, and once the skin's broken, the slugs come along and get in there and have a good chew on them. But there's quite a few like that, got that sort of damage, and that was right over by the central path. So I'm wondering if maybe we're going to use the nematodes there, or maybe these wireworm and slug nematodes this time, just to kind of curtail that problem or rule that out as being an issue. And last but not least, these ones here are the Sarpo Miras, if you can see them. Last year we had blooming millions of them. This year, admittedly, I didn't plant as many Sarpo Miras as I did last year, but certainly the yield from the amount of seed potatoes we did put in hasn't been as good. So mixed results this year. They're okay. It's not a disaster. There's still plenty of potatoes to be had. The ones in the buckets have been tremendous this year. The ones out of the ground have been decidedly average. What's caused that? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, the weather's been a bit funny this year. We've gone from really sort of hot drought conditions to torrential rain. It's been a bit odd. Maybe it's the way of the future. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe there wasn't enough nutrition in the ground. I used a different supplier this year for the first time in 2 years for for the seed potatoes. Maybe the seed potato is not as good, so I think next year I will go back to my usual supplier, and we'll see if that makes a difference. But we'll do some changes and we'll see what happens. There's 3 or 4 different things there. Like I say, about the pests, we'll use the nematodes, and we'll do that. We'll make sure we get absolutely loads of nutrition in this bed over the winter, in the spring, ready for the potatoes going in next year, and we'll go back to our usual seed potato supplier to see if that makes a difference or not. Anyway, that is me done for today. One last thing to mention, there is a video coming out today, it is Sunday, on a channel called Robin's Container Garden. Go and check it out. She's done a special video and you might recognise some familiar faces in there. That's all I'm saying at the moment, but it's out 3 o'clock today, Sunday, 3 o'clock it's out. This video will probably go after that, but what I'll do is I'll put a link down below in the description. Please go and take a look. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. And there's another one coming out next week, very similar. That'll be awesome as well. Go and see Robin's channel, give her a like, give her a subscribe, all of that. I'll put a link up here that takes you to our channel as well. Please go and take a look. Anyway, that is me done for today. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.